Hello everyone and welcome back to another wonderful video. Today we're going to be talking about another game that you can play in Ponytown. This is something that I made. I like to call it Bomb Squad. It's a very fun game that you can play with pretty much any number of players, and the goal is to be the last one alive. Everyone gets 3 lives, and every time you land on a bomb, you have to try and defuse it, and if you can't defuse it within the amount of time, you explode and you lose one of your lives. Some of these bombs cost 2 of your lives, some of them take lives from everyone, and some of them are extra lives, and there's all kinds of other fancy stuff like that on this board that I'm going to teach you guys. I'm going to teach you how you can defuse some of these bombs and all that other stuff. So starting out, if you want to make this board yourself, here it is in all its glory, all on screen, all at once. There is exactly 45 spaces. You can technically make this board however you want. If you want to be fancy and do all kinds of other things, add like a ton of bombs or something like that, it doesn't really matter. Play it how you want to play it, but this is the, I guess, official board or whatever like that. So with that said, let's go ahead and start with where you start on this board. So you're going to start on this little red space right here between the lemon and the apple. And every single turn, you're going to roll out of 12. So to do that, all you have to do is do /roll and then 12, and then it'll roll 12 dice. And then, or roll, dice up to 12, and then you move that many spaces on the board or whatever, and you do things based on what you land on. So the first thing is the apples. The apples represent the bombs. If you land on a bomb, you might just lose 1 life, but you have the chance to defuse it. To defuse it, you're going to go up here to this corner over here. Once you're over here in this corner, there should be a pattern. You should make this pattern before you even start the game. Someone should be assigned to do that or whatever like that. It'll change throughout the game, so don't worry too much about it, but essentially, make any kind of little pattern here. You need about 5 colors, 4 to 5 colors. You could even do 6 colors if you want to go super crazy. But 4 to 5 colors is really what you want to do. So I'm doing 5 here, but like I said, you can do 4 colors. It doesn't matter. So once you have your setup like this, you're going to set yourself a 30-second timer, and you're going to connect all of the colors together. You're going to have to find the most optimal way to connect all the colors. So just like this, you can't cross over a color, and you have to connect them perfectly. They have to connect. They can't like shoot off way out into space way up here or anything like that. They have to connect within this black space. And then once they're all connected, you stop the timer, and if you did it within that amount of time, then you survived. And once you do, you can clear this board just like this, just clear it up like that or whatever. It doesn't matter how you want to clear it, just clear it up and then get yourself more tiles. And since you diffused it, you get to set the next pattern, but make sure you make the pattern possible to beat. For example, if I was to do something like this, this is technically a pattern that's impossible to beat because you cannot connect the red with this red over here. You cannot connect diagonally, by the way, so if I was to do this, this would not count as a connection. They have to connect like this. They actually have to move into it on one of the 4 sides. They can't connect diagonally. So that's really how you diffuse things. I hope I explained that well. It's very simple. But if you didn't diffuse it in time, you take a life, you lost a life or whatever, and now you're down to 2 lives or whatever like that. And then we go on to the next thing that does something. We have the clover. The clover is bad, but also potentially good. What it does is if you land on the clover, you have to immediately take a second turn. So if you land on this, just immediately roll again and start going again. This is bad because it increases your chances of actually landing on a bomb, and you don't want to land on those. You want to avoid those as much as possible. So you want as few turns as possible. So the clover will punish you. It will hurt you. The next thing is these pincers. What these do is if you land on a bomb, you don't have to defuse it anymore. You just instantly defuse it. You just skip that. You don't lose a life or anything like that. You just instantly defuse the bomb. You can immediately drop the pincers or whatever like that, and you're good to go. It's done. It's a done deal. The next thing is this little baggie. Some people like to call them drugs. Some people like to call them seeds and things like that, but what this is just a little baggie. What you can do with this is at any point before you roll or whatever like that, you can place a bomb right behind you. You place it 1 space behind you, and it's pretty useful. For example, if I'm here on this orange space and I have an opponent on this yellow space, I can drop a bomb, and since it's being placed on the space behind me, it will bomb that player, and they will then have to defuse that bomb. It's a very nice little thing that you can go about doing and stuff like that. It's very simple, but if you pass start, you lose this item, so you have to use it quickly. The same thing happens with the pincers, by the way. If you pass start, then you have to drop the pincers. and you can no longer use them until you collect the pincers again. So make sure you use your items before you pass this original starting point, or you might just lose it forever. And then the next thing are these arrow signs. These are very simple. If you land here, you get to slide up this little thing and land up here. Now we have the mines, which is just a starfish on a plate, because that's what mines look like, I guess, question mark, I don't know. But the mines, you can't defuse the mines, and they instantly take 2 lives from you. So if you land here, you instantly explode, and you lose 2 lives. And this is the little minefield. I like having like 3 of these right next to each other to just kind of be like a little minefield or something. But yeah, avoid those as much as you can because you can't defuse them. Even if you have the pincers, it's an instant hit. It takes 2 lives from you. Now the banana is an extra life. If you land there, you get the extra life. You keep it forever until you lose it, obviously, because it's an extra life. This little red sparkler is a stick of TNT. What this does is if you have this and you land on a bomb, it will take 2 lives from you instead of 1. Now, you still have the chance to defuse it because it is a bomb, but if you do fail to defuse it, it will take 2 lives from you. If you have a stick of TNT and you land on a mine, it will take 3 lives from you instead of 2. So basically, it increases the amount of lives that you lose by 1. So if we kind of skip ahead a little bit here, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. This lemon is a nuke, and it will actually take 1 life from all players on the board. So if a player happens to be holding one of these red sparklers and someone else lands on the lemon, the player with the sparkler will lose 2 lives instead of 1. Basically, that's what the TNT does, the little stick of dynamite. It takes an extra life from you. It's very, very dangerous. You keep this forever until you pass start. If you land on start or pass start, you instantly drop the TNT, the stick of dynamite, whatever you want to call it, and you're a little bit more safe. Next up, again, another one of these slide things. If you land here, you go all the way across. If you land here, you go all the way across. Very simple. Then we have the cucumber, which is meant to be a little missile. This allows you to target a player and shoot them with a bomb or whatever like that, and they can't defuse it because it's a missile. It's impossible to defuse. And I've went back and forth on how the missile should work. I've said before where you should be within 5 spaces of a player, and then you can shoot them with the missile. And I've also said, oh, if you're anywhere on the board, you can shoot them with the missile or whatever like that, right? So play around with that yourself. I like to keep it to, like, you have to be within 5 spaces of a player to shoot them because I feel like it's a little bit too powerful if you can shoot them from anywhere on the board. So yeah, I like to keep it around like 5-ish spaces. So if I'm here in this purple space, I could hit someone on this black space here, or even someone way down here on this yellow space or something like that, because that's within 5 spaces of me. So yeah, that's what the cucumber does. It's meant to be a little missile launcher. Next up, we have the ice. This ice right here, if you land here, you lose a turn. This is actually really good for you because it increases the chances that you're not going to land on a bomb, because of course you're losing a turn, which means you have less of a chance to land on a bomb. So you want to land on this as many times as possible. And again, we go back to the nuke. If you land on the nuke, every player, even the player that landed on the nuke, loses 1 single life. It's very powerful and dangerous and deadly. You don't want to land on that, even unless you know you're going to win or something like that. So be super careful of it. And of course, we have start once again. Start again. If you land here and you have like any item whatsoever, you lose that item as soon as you pass it or whatever like that. So that is pretty much how this game works. It's called Bomb Squad. I hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy trying out this game yourself or whatever like that. And yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, share. I make all kinds of other Ponytown content here on the channel. I've made other games on this channel as well that you can probably find. I probably should make a playlist for that. I don't know. But yeah, that's going to do it. Please do consider liking, subscribing, sharing, doing all those wonderful things like that. Because when you do those wonderful things like that, not only do you get access to wonderful content such as this, but you also get to become wonderful for yourself. And I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.